Are you planning on taking a solo trip? And are you female? Well, are you nervous about some of the dangers that can happen to solo female travelers? In this video, I am going to go over how to navigate some of the dangers that can happen to solo female travelers. When you're planning on taking a solo trip, the dangers that can happen definitely kind of seep into the brain because it's always out there. So even though all of these things can happen wherever you are, even at home, you want to be extra cautious when you are in another country because things are not always the same as they are back home. Now, I'm going to go over a bunch of things that you can navigate through that can happen on your trip, or just stuff that you can prepare for so these things do not happen and you're just aware. Now, you're not able to always control the situations that are going to be happening in front of you, but you can control what you do about it. Also, you don't want to have all of these worries of what could go wrong stop you from taking your solo independent trip and not being able to do the things that you want to do in your life. Come prepared, leave excited and confident, and you will have an amazing trip. The first one I'm going to go over is research where you are going. You don't want to just go to your government's website. Definitely check out your government's website, see what the safety is there, what the risks are, and then also go and look at other things. So what these things are going to be blogs, reputable papers, newspapers, online newspapers. Now, things you want to kind of type into Google are female safety in, and then put the country that you're going to. Your government's website's not always going to be putting all of that stuff on their website. So it's good to get a perspective from either a local or someone that has traveled there and just see what their experiences are as a solo female traveler going to those countries. Second is show confidence. Now, again, even if you're faking it, just be confident looking. Once you do this over and over, you will see your confidence go up anyways. But the more confident you can be, look straight ahead, have your shoulders back and just be confident in your walk. One of the things that I really like to do is take self-defense courses or martial arts at home. We had self-defense courses in our high school, so we had to go part of that, which was super helpful. I also did some more later on in my life. And then it really stepped up for me a lot when I started taking Muay Thai classes. This way, it gave me the strength and the confidence and just knowing kind of what to do if someone attacked me or I had to get out of a situation. So it grows your confidence a lot, makes you feel stronger, and you kind of know what to do when something happens. If something happens. The next thing you want to do is to listen to your gut feeling. Sometimes it's hard to listen to your gut feeling just because we're so used to going, no, it's fine. Just kind of bypassing it. But when you are traveling, it kind of becomes a little bit of a heightened experience where your gut feeling is going, I don't think this is right. Listen to it and then just leave the situation. Just make excuses, tell a lie, whatever you need to do, and then just get out of the situation. Just remove yourself. No need to do anything else. The more you listen to those feelings that are deep in your gut and those alarm bells go off in your head, the more you'll be able to just trust that feeling and remove yourself from that situation. Next is you want to leave a note and let people know where you're going for the day. Now, it doesn't have to be super detailed, but just give a general synopsis of what you're going to be doing for that day. I will do that in my accommodations. I'll write it down and just have that in my accommodations, either on my desk or my bed. Sometimes I do it when I'm going out hiking by myself. I will leave a note in the car and just explain what time I expect to be back, where I'm going, and all of that. And then you can also do this with friends or family back home. You can just send them a text message, let them know what you're doing, where you're going, what time you're planning on being back. That way you can just keep in touch, and if something does ultimately happen, they have a starting point of where to look. If you are planning on staying in Airbnbs, I highly suggest that you just book with Superhosts. They are sometimes a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it just for that safety and security. Superhosts have a ton of great reviews. They've had a lot of people go through their accommodations, and it's always better to stay with someone that you know is safe and have great reviews rather than someone that either doesn't have reviews yet or you just don't know about the situation. If you are using not public transportation, but like taxis and that type of stuff, I highly recommend that you use ride sharing. Ride sharing over taxis, if it is available in that country. Sometimes it's not. All sorts of different ride sharing all around the world. Check out before you leave if they have any ride sharing options. The reason why you want to do this is because the apps track where you're going, and you're able to use some of the safety features that those apps usually have. I know Uber has a lot of safety features that you're able to just click on when you are in the car as well. Next, depending on where you are going, you want to determine what the female dynamics are in the country. What I mean is, kind of staying away from unwanted attention. This is going to be different for everywhere, and things that we think that we're doing that are just friendly often sometimes become an invitation for others. Back home, I will make eye contact with everybody on the street, say hello, smile, or anything like that. You have to kind of be aware, depending on where you're going in the world, that if you do this, it is an invitation for men to approach you. They're not used to women either looking them in the eye or smiling. Just be aware of what those dynamics are in the country and be prepared to just kind of tone down your friendliness in certain situations. Definitely when you are in restaurants or in shops and stuff like that, that would be fine. But just going along the streets and, wandering around the city, you do want to be prepared on how you should be acting. One thing that I definitely do is I join Facebook groups for solo female travelers. There's a number of them and they are really helpful. There's usually a lot of people in these groups and they're from all over the world. Now, if you do come into some trouble where you are, you're able to also reach out into these groups and see if anyone is there, either traveling or living. And most people are more than willing to help you out, meet up with you, whatever you need. Sign up for these groups and just get a sense of what's going on in the groups. You can pose questions even before you leave and find out what the life is like over in those countries that you're going to for a solo female. And then you'll be able to use those resources too when you are away. I always like to have data on my phone. Sometimes I go without it and I just use Wi-Fi, but I find I feel so much more secure when I have data on my phone. You can do it very inexpensively and just get SIM cards in the country when you arrive. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more expensive if you purchase these SIM cards at the airport or train station, but you don't have to go to the hassle of finding a place in the city to get all these new SIM cards on your phone. Get it and use it. This way, you're going to be able to do this very easily. You can get out of situations quickly. You can call the authorities if something happens, and you can get Ubers, ride sharing, all that type of stuff when you're able to have the data on your phone all of the time instead of trying to find Wi-Fi. Keep that on your phone. It's a safety net, and it will help you throughout your whole trip, regardless of safety and not safety. If something does unfortunately happen to you when you are away, don't always expect the local authorities to do anything. Now, this is one of the really crappy things about different countries, is that the authorities are not always like they are back home. Sometimes they're just as corrupt as what's been going on with you. And then they just turn a blind eye, or they just don't think it's significant. That's the way that women are treated there, and that's what happened to you. So you want to understand what those things are. Don't think that the authorities are going to help. If you want, and if it's serious enough, contact your consulate, let them know what's going on, and then they can help you from there. I hope these give you some ideas on how to navigate some of the dangers of solo female travel. If you have any more questions, pop them down below and I would be happy to answer them for you. Now, if you are going to be traveling during COVID-19, you want to make sure that you understand all the parameters and everything that entails traveling during COVID-19. I've created a guide for you to travel during COVID-19. It includes checklists and all the information that you need to travel during this time. Now, it is free for you. I'll put the link down below. Just click on that and you'll be able to download that for free. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I will talk to you later. Bye.